After my back surgery, she promised to take care of me. Instead, she disappeared for 3 days. When she returned, she had a tan and a new tattoo. "You wouldn't get it," she said. "You're always in pain." The hospital bill was still in my name. The credit card? Maxed. But the Airbnb receipt I found in her purse told me everything. And when I showed up at that address, I had back surgery 2 weeks ago. Lumbar spinal fusion. It was serious. The doctors at Mercy General in Sacramento told me the recovery would be rough, painful, and long.
No bending. No lifting. No twisting.
No walking alone for long stretches. I'd need someone with me for the first week, minimum. That someone was supposed to be my girlfriend, Denise. We'd been together for 2 years. Lived together for 1. She's always been one of those loud, impulsive types. Tattoos. Late nights. Always a little chaotic, but she made life feel less dull. I work in accounting, so her energy filled a space I didn't know was empty. Anyway, the surgery went fine. She was there at the hospital when I woke up, gave me a forehead kiss, and held my hand. She even wheeled me out and drove me home, all smiles and gentle touches. I remember thinking, she really showed up for me. That feeling didn't last. By the next morning, Tuesday, she was gone. Not just ran out for coffee gone. I mean gone. Her car was gone. Her phone went straight to voicemail. No note. Nothing on the fridge. No message on my phone. I couldn't get up easily. The pain was unreal. I had to roll sideways just to sit upright. My mouth was dry, and I was already out of the bottled water she said she'd stock. I waited for hours. I thought maybe something had happened. A family emergency. I even called her sister. "Wait, she's not with you?" her sister asked. "I thought she was staying with you all week." That's when my stomach dropped. I managed to microwave some soup. Crawled to the bathroom. The whole time I was sweating bullets and gritting my teeth. I kept checking the front door, hoping I'd hear her key. Hoping to see her come in with groceries or maybe my prescriptions. Nothing. Wednesday? Same story. I texted her 10 times. Called her more. Checked social media. Nothing. I even called the hospital asking if she'd come in with some emergency. No one matching her name. By Thursday morning, I was thinking about calling the cops. Not to report her missing, but to check myself into a facility or something because I couldn't do this alone. The pain was bad. I hadn't slept more than a couple hours. My incision was sore and angry looking. I needed help. That's when I heard the key turn in the lock. She walked in like it was nothing. She was tan. I mean noticeably tanner. Her face looked relaxed. Her shoulders were red like she'd been laying out in the sun. She was wearing a thin tank top and cut-off shorts. And on her left shoulder, a brand new tattoo. A palm tree, swaying sideways with little birds flying around it. I stared at her like she was a ghost. She looked at me, blinked once, and said, "Hey, you look like crap." I couldn't even speak at first. My throat was dry. My head was spinning. I asked, "Where the hell have you been?" She rolled her eyes and dropped her bag. I needed a break. "You wouldn't get it." "I needed your help," I said. I couldn't even shower. "I haven't left the couch." That's when she said the part that really cut deep. "You're always in pain. Everything's always about your pain." She said it flat.
No emotion.
Then she walked into the bathroom and started the shower. That night, she passed out early. Like nothing was wrong. I lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling. Angry. Tired. Hurt. Something didn't add up. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I went through her purse. That's when I found it. A crumpled receipt from an Airbnb. Santa Cruz. Beachfront condo. 3 nights. It had the check-in and check-out dates, Tuesday through Thursday. Same exact days she vanished. Listed under her name, but the payment? My credit card. She used my credit card to disappear. And under number of guests? It said 2. I stared at that slip of paper for a long time. My hands were shaking. The next morning, I told her I had to go to a follow-up appointment. She grunted, didn't look up from her phone. Instead, I drove, slowly, painfully, to that Airbnb address. I knew Santa Cruz. I used to work out there briefly. Took me almost 3 hours to get there. The condo was small. Beige walls, palm trees around the entrance. The door was slightly ajar. I knocked once. A guy answered. Shirtless.
Tan.
Tattoos on his arms. Looked about our age. And he was wearing her pink hoodie. He looked surprised. Like he'd seen a ghost. We made eye contact for a few seconds. He looked past me like he expected her to be standing behind me. I didn't say a word. I pulled out my phone. Took a photo of him, the open door, the condo unit number. Then I turned and left. My legs were shaking by the time I got back to the car. That was only the beginning. When I got home, she was on the couch with a bag of chips and a soda, watching some dumb reality show like nothing had happened. She looked at me, blinked slowly, and said, "So, how was the appointment?" I stood there, holding my phone in one hand and the receipt in the other. "You're going to lie to my face?" I asked, voice low. She shrugged, barely even reacting. "What are you talking about?" I walked over and dropped the Airbnb receipt on the table in front of her. She stared at it for a few seconds. Then she laughed. Like full-on laughed. "You went through my stuff?"
Wow.
Controlling and nosy. Real nice.
I didn't say anything.
I just pulled out my phone and showed her the photo of the guy in her hoodie at the condo. Her face changed. The smirk faded. "What the hell is wrong with you?" she hissed. "You followed me?" "You stole my credit card," I said, while I was cut open and bleeding on the couch. She stood up, defensive, suddenly angry. "It wasn't stealing. You gave me that card. For meds. For groceries. Not for beach getaways with your side guy." She didn't deny it, just crossed her arms and said, "You were miserable to be around. Whining. Needy. Always in pain. I needed a break. I needed something that felt like life." I stared at her, trying to understand how the woman I trusted could say something like that. I felt numb. Not from the meds this time. She grabbed her keys. "You know what? Maybe we both need space." She left. Again. This time, I didn't sit around waiting. I called the credit card company and reported fraud. Told them my card was used without my consent. They froze the account and flagged the charges, including the Airbnb stay. Then I called the Airbnb customer service line and told them the reservation was made fraudulently. I forwarded the photo, the receipt, everything. By the end of the day, the reservation was under investigation. But that wasn't enough. Not even close. I needed to know who the guy was. I uploaded the photo to a reverse image search site. Nothing came up. Then I posted it anonymously in a local Facebook group for Santa Cruz. Said he was involved in a financial fraud scam. Asked if anyone recognized him. Within 2 hours, I had a name. Jake Martinez. Worked at a beach rental company downtown. Known to be friendly with tourists. Someone even said, "Yeah, I think he's seeing a girl from out of town, tall, loud, drives a red Civic." That was Denise. Now I knew who he was. And where he worked. I waited until Monday. Drove back out to Santa Cruz, back brace and all, and parked across the street from his work. He came out around noon for a smoke break. Same hoodie. I walked right up to him. "You know who I am?" I asked. He looked confused for a second. Then recognition hit. "Look, man," he started. "You slept with my girlfriend while she was supposed to be taking care of me after back surgery. Then she used my card to pay for your fun." His mouth opened and closed like a fish. I didn't punch him. Didn't yell. Just handed him an envelope. Inside? A printed breakdown of the charges, photos, her text from my phone, and a letter from my lawyer stating I was pressing charges for fraud and identity theft. Against both of them. He went pale. "You didn't know she was using my card? Fine. But now you do. And if you keep helping her, you're part of it." I turned and walked away. My lawyer filed the charges that same week. But Denise? She didn't go quietly. She came back that Friday like a storm. Banged on the door at 9 p.m., screaming my name. I didn't answer. I watched from the living room window as she stood on the porch, barefoot, mascara smeared, holding a bag of takeout. "Let me in," she yelled. "You're overreacting." When I didn't move, she kicked the door. Then she said the words that made my blood run cold. "You called a lawyer? You want to ruin me over a few nights at the beach." I opened the door, slowly, looked her dead in the eye. "You ruined yourself," I said. "I trusted you. I needed you." She tried to push past me. I blocked the doorway.
She threw the takeout bag at me. Fine.
"You want to play hardball? I'll tell everyone what you're really like. You think people are going to feel bad for you." She pulled out her phone and held it up. "I've got texts. I've got voicemails. You begging me for help. You acting pathetic." I was stunned. "You're really going to fake a story about me?" I asked. She smiled. "Doesn't have to be fake. Just has to sound real enough." That's when I realized she'd been planning something. Maybe not the affair, but this reaction, this attempt to flip the script. She wasn't stupid. She knew how to twist a story. She worked in PR before she got fired last year. Knew how to spin things. She stormed off into the night. By Monday, I started getting strange texts from mutual friends. "Hey man, are you okay? What's this about you emotionally abusing Denise while she cared for you?" She said you threatened to sue her just for taking a break? I was furious, but not surprised. She'd gotten ahead of the story. She posted on her socials that she had to step away from a toxic situation after trying to be a caretaker, and that she was being punished for prioritizing her mental health. The comments were filled with sympathy, people praising her bravery. I stayed silent for a bit. Then I made one post. Just one. It was a simple photo. A selfie from a hospital, taken the day after surgery. Tubes for pale face. The Airbnb receipt next to it. Then the photo of the guy in her hoodie. Caption: "I had spinal fusion surgery. She promised to take care of me. She disappeared." This is where I found her. It went viral in our circles. People started asking questions. Some of her supporters started deleting comments. A few even reached out and apologized to me. But Denise? She doubled down. Sent me a cease and desist through some cheap online lawyer. Claimed defamation. Claimed harassment. That was her mistake. She didn't think I'd take it further. But I did. Because I found something else in that purse that night. Something I didn't mention earlier. A second credit card. One she'd opened in my name. And it had more charges. I called the credit card company again and gave them the new account number I'd found in her purse. Turns out, it had been opened 6 weeks before my surgery. Using my social security number. My name. She'd signed up using a fake email that looked like mine, but had a single letter changed. It had almost $4,200 in charges. Spa visits. Clothing boutiques. One charge to a tattoo parlor in Santa Cruz. I sat there staring at the screen, realizing just how deep this went. She didn't just abandon me. She used me. She saw my surgery coming like a window of opportunity. A time when I'd be too weak, too distracted to notice. And she planned for it. I reported the second card as identity theft too. Filed a police report. Sent everything to my lawyer. This time, the case was bigger. More serious. She was served court papers 2 weeks later. She showed up at my place again that night, drunk, banging on the door and screaming through tears. "You think this is justice? You think this is right?" she sobbed. I made one mistake. I opened the door. But only a crack. "You made a choice," I said. "You left me when I couldn't walk. You stole my name, my credit, my trust. I lost my job. I lost friends because of you." "No," I said. "You lost those because of you." Then I shut the door. Court came 6 months later. She showed up in a suit 2 sizes too big. Looked tired.
Pale.
The boyfriend, Jake, wasn't there. My lawyer laid out the case. Credit card fraud, identity theft, medical abandonment, misuse of funds. Her lawyer tried to paint her as overwhelmed, unsupported, mentally strained. Then came the evidence. The receipts. The photos. the texts, the emails she used to sign up for the card. When the judge read the verdict, her jaw clenched. She was found guilty of fraud and ordered to pay back every cent. Her credit was ruined. She got 2 years probation and a suspended sentence. If she violated probation, she'd serve jail time. But here's where my own mistakes came back to me. The stress from all of it, on top of the surgery, the betrayal, the back and forth, set my recovery back months. I lost more than just money. I lost time, sleep, health, and trust. In people, in my own judgment. But I didn't just move on. I posted everything, my full story, every detail online. Not to go viral. Not for pity. But so no one else would fall for her again. It spread.
Fast.
And that's how I know from a message I got last week that she lost her next job too. Someone there recognized her name. Her face. They saw what she did. What she was capable of. Actions have consequences. She made her choices.
So did I.